All right, guys, so this right here is the new iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, the color I have here is the blue color. Initially, what I ordered was the orange color, like every other person, but I did a pre-order and it took forever for the phone to get to me. But eventually, when it was delivered, I got the blue instead of the orange. And I honestly really like the blue. If you're thinking of buying one right now, I would highly suggest you get the blue color because it's really beautiful. Now, I've had this for like a week plus now, so I've actually unboxed it already, so it's not like I haven't. This is the device itself right here. You see that thing I was telling you about the blue color, that you need to get the blue color because this blue color is so beautiful. It's so unique. Like, I think it's the better color instead of the orange color. But colors aside, if you're coming from, let's say, the iPhone 15 Pro Max or the iPhone 16 Pro Max, you might not really miss a lot when it comes to the physical differences between all these other devices and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So there are subtle physical differences here. But of course, as you already know, one of the distinguishing factors here has to be this camera plateau. So this camera bump is quite large, and a lot of people have been quick to say that Apple actually stole this camera design from the Poco X6 Pro. As you can see, it has a camera plateau here, and the cameras are resting on top. So a lot of you have said that, mostly the Android fanboys have said that Apple lifted this design from Xiaomi. Well, that is up for a debate. But for me, one of the things I've noticed about this camera plateau is that it's calling for a cause for concern because for most of the cases I've found in the market, they are going to always leave this camera area open. And so if you drop this phone on the table, the phone is most likely to scratch. Something is most likely to happen to it because of this very large camera bump here that is exposed. So one of the things I did was I have been looking for a case that will cover it. So I eventually found this case. So if I will put this case on the device like this, like so, you can actually see right now that it covers this entire area. And I will advise whatever case you are getting, you should get that so that you don't expose this camera bump and the phone start looking messed up. I don't know how Apple came up with this design, but honestly, this camera plateau is my least favorite thing about this design. And then for the build quality, material-wise, somebody at Apple thought it was a wise decision to go from titanium to back to aluminum, which they have already told us that it's not so good, which actually it is not. But again, this decision to use aluminum on this device is because of how hot or how powerful the A19 processor is, and because of how powerful it is, it's generating a lot of heat. And so they needed to use a material that is not so prone to heat. And that is why they have gone for aluminum instead of titanium, like on the iPhone 16 Pro Max or the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. It is very prone to scratching. I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos, a lot of images flying online. People's iPhone 17s just probably a small fall, the frame will bend. Now, I personally feel the reason why a lot of people are falling victims to them scratching the iPhone 17s is because they are actually thinking that the iPhone 17 should be as durable as the iPhone 16 Pro Max that is titanium. But it turns out that that is not the case. You know, so if you're buying this phone or if you already have it, you need to get a good case that will cover the entire device so that your device does not scratch. Then looking at other parts of the device, you still have the camera control button here that you can use to activate the camera and do a lot of other things, zoom in and all of that. Now, to my Android friends, my guys that are using Android phones, a lot of them, when they see this button, they will be like, oh, the iPhone now has a fingerprint reader. No, it's not a fingerprint reader. Even though it looks like one, but it's not a fingerprint reader. It's actually a camera control button. It's soft touch. Then you have the power button, the volume up and down keys. You have the action button. Then at the top of the device here, if you notice this is the millimeter wave antenna for 5G, right? This is the 5G millimeter wave antenna. Now, it depends on the region you are buying this phone. Now, mine, I bought it from the US, so I will have this millimeter wave antenna here. But if you're buying this phone in the UK and maybe a few other places, you might not see this here. For some reason, the millimeter wave antenna is not allowed in those places. I don't know, but that's what it is. And also, another thing you also notice here is that there is really no physical SIM tray here because, again, mine was bought from the US, so it is eSIM only. And so, but if you're buying this phone from China, you're definitely going to have the one that has a physical SIM card. But generally, the iPhone 17 Pro Max feels a little bit lighter than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Again, I think this has to do with switching from titanium to aluminum. And so it feels really good. It feels really better. So one of the problems with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and those other iPhones is that they are so heavy. When you lift them up, it's as if you are carrying a brick. But the iPhone 17 Pro Max actually solves that problem a bit. That is something I really like. Now let's come in here. Let's talk about the display of the phone. Now this is an LTPO display and it has up to 120 Hz refresh rate, aka ProMotion. Of all the other iPhones that had ProMotion or high refresh rate, I think the iPhone 17 Pro Max actually has the best implementation of that technology because it is so smooth, it is so fast, mostly with liquid glass. The display of the iPhone is never this smooth, and for some reason, this one is super smooth, and that is something I really love. And the animations also here are quite crazy when you're opening apps, when you're launching apps, when you're on the lock screen, all those stuff. It just feels different. You can see when I'm unlocking the device, see the way the animations just come in. Really feels good. And that is something that I think Apple is actually catching up with most of these Android devices. Again, according to Apple, this device has a peak brightness of over 3000 nits. Now, I don't know how Apple come up with these figures because sometimes I find that hard to believe because of the performance of this device, of these iPhones when you carry them physically. For instance, this right here is the Poco X6 Pro. It is a mid-range phone. It's not a flagship phone and all. It uses an AMOLED display, but for some reason, the AMOLED panel on the Poco X6 Pro is slightly brighter than the LTPO panel on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Mind you, the display on the Poco X6 Pro is an AMOLED display, while that on the iPhone 17 Pro Max is an LTPO display, but for some reason, this display on the Poco X6 Pro is as bright, if not a little bit brighter than the one on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is supposed to be the better display. And all displays are their maximum brightness. So yeah, sometimes I don't know how Apple calculates these figures, but yeah, that's what it is. And of course, when it comes to the cameras, all the 3 cameras on the iPhone this year, they are all 48 megapixels. And so far, their performance has been good. And you can now shoot with all sorts of ProRes, Apple Res on this device. On another video, we are going to do an in-depth camera analysis and do some camera comparisons. And of course, I don't hear people talk about this enough when they are talking about the iPhone 17, but iOS 26 on the iPhone is a complete game changer. We're going to have a different video where we are going to go in-depth into the features of iOS 26 on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And one of the big questions on everybody's lips right now will be, how is the battery performance? So far, so good. The battery has been okay. It can actually take you an entire day. If you're a heavy user, it can actually take you almost through half of your day. Else, if you are just somebody that uses your phone casually, you don't really do much, the battery is going to take you through half of your day. And of course, it depends on whose day it is. And of course, talking about charging, the iPhone 17 can now charge fast. So it can go from 0 to 50% in about 20 minutes. At least these are the official specs. Now, the problem is finding a charger that is going to give you that fast charging, because a lot of the chargers you're going to find are not really compatible. But of course, it's good to know we have that feature there. If you really want that fast charging feature, then you might want to get a fast charger from Apple, or you use the one that comes with your MacBook. And in subsequent videos, we are going to look at a lot of other things, all right? If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments.